Now for more, I'm joined by Katie Roof, senior writer and video host at TechCrunch. Welcome back to the show.
Good to be with you, Rachelle.
Now, Katie, it's certainly an interesting turn of events. The rhetoric from Silicon Valley was staunchly anti-Trump during the election cycle. But from what we're seeing now, how tough will it be for the tech community to be able to work with the incoming Trump administration?
Sure, that's absolutely right. Peter Thiel was the only advocate of Trump, at least the only vocal advocate out here. Several of the people who were even present at the meeting were pretty anti-Trump, but it's good to see them trying to make amends because, frankly, that's the best they can hope for going forward. Is they need to accept that that Trump is going to be our next president, and so they have a fiduciary duty to do what's best for their companies. Most of these were public companies, and so I think they probably, gave ideas about what they think would be best for the tech community, and they're hoping that he'll listen.
We're certainly seeing a more harmonious spirit. We saw that Trump is enlisting help from several Silicon Valley tech giants, naming Tesla and SpaceX CEO Elon Musk to his advisory team and Uber CEO Travis Kalanick to his strategic and policy forum. So what should we take from that?
Well, Travis is very anti-regulation. I mean, Uber, they've had to go through battles in various cities all around the world as they take on the taxi companies. And so a lot of people in tech in general are against regulation because it can cause major setbacks for startups. And so I would imagine they're hoping that Trump will see eye to eye with them on that. Another thing that pretty much everyone out here is strongly in favor of is H-1B visas. And Trump has taken every position on that, so we don't know what he really thinks of them. But basically, those are the visas for the high-skilled engineers in particular that come out here and help build some of the greatest tech companies. Of course, there are a lot of great American engineers, but they need the best and the brightest, and so they can't just rely on the talent that's here. They really need to look elsewhere to be competitive on what's really a global competition these days for technology.
So then do you think that could potentially be an opportunity for other countries, if they're looking at what's happening, seeing perhaps they won't be able to lure as much foreign talent? How is the rest of the world viewing this?
I think the rest of the world's probably in awe right now, and no one really knows what Trump is going to do, so we're kind of just trying to watch and read the tea leaves and try to figure out what's going to happen. But if Trump were to curtail the H-1B visa program and if it made it harder to attract immigrants here, I would imagine that would significantly hurt our businesses and our global competitiveness. Canada has had a very favorable policy for immigrants, and they have growing tech communities, so it's possible some businesses would either get started there or maybe even relocate to somewhere else outside of the United States if things got really bad. There were trillions of dollars, they say, at that meeting, if you count the market caps of all those companies. So right. Trump really does have an incentive to work with these people, so hopefully he recognizes that.
Now, immigration was obviously a very key issue as a topic of discussion. What are some of the other priorities for the tech sector going forward?
So security and privacy are some big issues. You may recall that Trump had that battle with Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, of course, over the backdoor issue with the FBI, wanted to look at the iPhones surrounding a terrorist incident. But there was a lot of concern in the tech community because basically they were advocating for Apple to create an inferior product that made it easier for the FBI to access in the future. And they were worried that this could have a lot of unintended negative consequences in other governments around the world using, or other hackers or other types of nefarious activity using these devices and making them more hackable. So people in the tech community are generally in favor of making things more secure, right, more private, and so there is a lot of concern about the stance that he took against Apple.
Well, we'll certainly have to keep an eye on that. Thank you very much, Katie Roof, senior writer and video host at TechCrunch.